Alright, so, first things first. I want to wish everyone the most happiest and most blessed Thanksgiving on this amazing day, because today's Thanksgiving, and I want you guys to all have the most greatest time with your friends and families out there. And I hope, all the things you're thankful for, are meaningful and, the sweetest and most genuine ever. And may you have the most blessed and fun time as a whole on this special day with your friends and family. Especially during this pandemic, because I'm not sure what y'all's situations are out there, but for those that have COVID, because I do know some people personally that do have it, I hope you guys have a safe recovery and that you can still have a good time on today with your friends and family in a safe, uh, you know, setting, and may you recover. But it's come to my attention recently at the start of this year that there was a person on Facebook, rather, that had pointed out this odd kind of thought process that really hit me in the most wrongful way possible. And you guys all know that with me being trans male, how big of a problem this is. And so, my issue with this is there's a person, and I did block them after, so don't get the wrong idea that I condoned what they were saying to me in this conversation in a personal message. But there was a person that genuinely came up to me and thought that it was okay and acceptable to say that the main reason why they keep searching for trans individuals to date, in their opinion, was that it gave them, quote unquote, the best of both worlds. And to me, that doesn't sit well with me, because most of you guys who are familiar with the LGBTQ plus and trans individuals specifically know that to trans men and women, that gender is a very important thing to them, and they take this quite seriously due to the fact that they've got body dysphoria. And so when you have a person like this scummy person going around on social media saying and promoting and normalizing the idea that straight people are trying to weasel their way into the LGBTQ plus just because they're searching for trans people in specific because they want to date them for body parts that they're uncomfortable with, made me want to bring up this, issue, because I've been thinking about this for the past couple of days. Now, I wasn't expecting it to be up, recorded and possibly uploaded on Thanksgiving Day, because this is supposed to be a blessed and thankful day to be thankful for things. And hopefully this message can protect other trans men, women, boys, and girls in general from not accidentally getting into friendships and like potential relationships with people that act like this. Because with us having body dysphoria, with us not identifying as, the body parts that we have, especially if you haven't transitioned yet, I find it highly distasteful for someone to go out of their way and take advantage of the fact that a trans individual hasn't even transitioned yet and use that to their advantage for sexual advances, to manipulate them for selfish personal gain because they're that sexually active. Because at that point, you may as well date a straight person who's not even trans if that's the way you think. Because, a relationship should be, a very passionate, genuine thing. It shouldn't just be about, the three-letter word that starts with S. Like, a person's not there to be objectified. And I just do not like the fact that there's so many people out there that want to manipulate and use trans people for all the wrong reasons. And while I'm on this topic, another thing you don't do in friendships and even freaking relationships in general, if you want to get close to them in that way, don't call them tranny, he-male, and she-male. That is the most offensive terminology that you could possibly use toward a trans person, and they don't deserve that. Okay? I know people in real life that are trans, male, and female, and let me tell you, they struggle with a lot of problems, and I honestly do not think it is fair that you take advantage of them for something that they haven't done, because most people that haven't transitioned yet obviously are not financially good at being able to afford that. and you can't hold that against them. And if you think that just because they haven't transitioned that means it's okay to still call them the gender they don't identify with, then you're being pretty scummy. Because the thing is with body dysphoria being a thing, with depression being a thing, suicidal thoughts and attempts and self-harm and just insecurity and anxiety in general, they suffer from that. And I would know because I am medicated for those reasons, and even because of mood swings and stuff. And so it, and with me also having Asperger's in general, which is actually associated with being on the high end, the high end of the autism spectrum. People take advantage of people on the spectrum as well for the exact same selfish sexual desires. And I honestly want to point out just how fucking, wrong that is, because, it's not appropriate. Y'all need to stop condoning this mentality. It is not okay or healthy to put people like that in those vulnerable situations that they otherwise can't get out of because of insecurities, because they now have to feel pressured into, going along with these ideas when really they don't have to do that. So if you're going on your way to date someone for all the wrong reasons because of sexual, desires that only benefit you, then you don't need to be in the dating realm. And I'm not saying that a person can't have a successful relationship with a trans individual, but at the very least, respect their boundaries and understand why gender is an important thing to them, and at least try your best to use the appropriate pronouns, and don't force them into uncomfortable situations because you want to touch them in places you shouldn't, because you're only using them for the gender body parts that they don't identify with, because that is disrespectful and highly distasteful. And I honestly want to pray and hope that this video reaches a lot of my trans followers on this channel, and in general, to not accept this behavior. I would hate to find out that, especially on Thanksgiving Day, and just in general as a whole, that they, are in this situation. So I hope that this video can help those in need who really need to hear this message, because it is highly, highly important that people do not condone this behavior. Because oftentimes than not, a lot of, people that aren't actually a part of the LGBTQ try to find ways to weasel their way in there by giving off the falsification that they support people like us, only to belittle us, you know, once they're in this thing. And I'm not saying that straight people cannot attend pride events, especially if they're there to support their children who happen to be gay, lesbian, pan, gender fluid, gender neutral, trans male or female, or any of those things. Because that's, that's a good thing, because there are some people out there that do have success stories. But for those that don't have the, that lucky happy ending, because when I kind of came out being trans male, and at the time in a gay relationship, it did not go over very well at the time, and yes, I did get made fun of. I had been told that it's not a real thing a couple of times, but my family is kind of sort of starting to slowly, try their best to make me feel comfortable in my own place. Because I know it's really hard, but if you take the time to work with them, they'll work with you. I just felt like this was highly important because I don't want anyone on Thanksgiving, any day of the week, just in general, I don't want anyone to have to feel like they have to be forced into a situation that's just uncomfortable for them. Because I've been there, done that. I've had people act really shady and pretty sus around me at times. I've had people manipulate me into doing things that aren't good just because of my naivety, due to the fact that I have like a 12-year-old mentality. Because I guess I'm okay with admitting that, yeah, I'm technically 29, and yeah, I'm technically going to be 30, next year. But my child mentality does still put me in a vulnerable state where people can still take advantage of me, like I said, because of the whole Asperger's and stuff, putting me on the high end spectrum of autism. Because believe it or not, as scummy as it is, there are some, messed up people out there that take advantage of people on the spectrum because they think that they're too stupid to realize that they're being manipulated in inappropriate mannerisms. And I also want to speak out on their behalf, because I don't think people should normalize that. I don't know why society turns a blind eye to these issues, because they very much well are issues that don't need to exist, and I'm kind of fed up with it. And I'm at this point in my life where I just cannot tolerate stupidity as a whole anymore, especially during the current situation and with all the dumb stuff that started at the start of 2020 going into now. So I pray and hope to the great Lord above that hopefully in 2021 all this stuff starts to slow down and that everyone recovers. We somewhat start to go back to normal. Like I've been told countless times, it's probably not going to be exactly the same as how it used to be, but as long as it's not as awful as it is right now, I could care less. I just hope that everyone can recover, that no more people pass away because of COVID, and I wish people would stop taking it as a joke because it's a very serious thing. Because I found out that my friend's dad actually tested positive for it, and I'm really worried because he's at high risk. And so I really hope that my friend and her new boyfriend and her family are safe and can at least recover from this, because it is a very tragic and serious thing and nobody should make a big mockery joke of it. I'm real disappointed in humanity right now. I really am. I kind of wish I could just yeet off this planet and go to a different dimension at this point. Heck, that's why I love going and doing art and cartoons and stuff. That's why I sometimes fantasize being, in my favorite cartoon series. Because I recently got into like a new series now that's quite interesting. I'm a bit late to the party, of course. But sometimes you gotta, find release in some kind of way so that you're not going insane. Now, technically, with me having Asperger's and all, I kind of embrace my colorfulness and my ridiculousness. And I embrace it in a very positive way, because, I mean, it's okay to be weird. You don't actually have to be bland and boring. You don't have to be like everyone else. You have a right to be whoever you want to be, and if anyone else tries to tell you otherwise, ignore them, because what they have to say does not matter, and you can be whoever the heck you want to be regardless if they like it or not, because just remember that at the end of the day, you're not here to please other people. You're here to live the best life you possibly can, because that's what God wants you to do. You shouldn't limit yourself to negativity. Be as positive as you want, hyperactive as you want, because as long as you're not doing something against the law, I don't see a reason why you can't do what you want to do, because if it brings you passion and prevents you from doing reckless thinking and things that you would regret down the road, then I would highly encourage you to do the things that you're most passionate about. Because I will admit, my job's been kind of stressful lately, but if it weren't for my depression slash, mood swing meds and the occasional moments where I have to use the anxiety meds, if it weren't for that, I don't think I'd be able to keep going to my job, because it's gotten extra dumb recently, and this is just me being one-on-one honest with you guys with my raw thoughts and feelings about how I'm just kind of fed up with this stuff, and no one should have to put up with this. And somebody's got to, stand up and, speak for the people and remind them that, hey, we've got rights, we've got feelings and emotions. We have a right to voice our opinion, and not everyone has to agree with it. But we have a right to feel how we want, especially if it's not even hurting people. We shouldn't have to be silenced because society says so. So, if you ever find yourself in a situation where people are manipulating you and using you for all the wrong reasons and objectifying you for body parts that you're uncomfortable with because of body dysphoria, just know that you're not a bad person if you have to leave that relationship or friendship, because your mental health is way more important than their negative selfishness. So keep that in mind. You should not have to be susceptible to that negative, mentality. So don't ever feel pressured to have to do that, because you don't have to do that. So just ignore it. So, you know, hopefully this video helps you guys. I know this is a weird recording spot because this is my laundry room, but I wanted to pick a room that allowed my voice to be a lot louder, because I'm normally pretty quiet, and our house is pretty noisy. and I wanted to get this out there as fast as possible. I also want to take time to apologize. I know you guys have been really patient and waiting for my next SML Alternate Realities AU episode, and I apologize. I'm just kind of on a video block and have no idea like what the next episode should be. I really hope the first episode was good enough for you guys, because seeing as how many likes I have and 0 dislikes, that's a pretty good sign on my behalf. I'm still going to continue the series. I just don't know what to make the next few episodes about. And yes, I'm definitely going to make that episode about Lemmy and Iggy having that Pokemon battle. It's just with my house always being pretty loud and stuff, I'm not always able to have a consistent upload schedule, so I do want to apologize for that. I'm not ignoring y'all's, you know, your requests or anything, but if you'd like to contribute, I wouldn't mind you guys putting in the comments below once this video is uploaded your suggestions of what my next episodes for my SML Alternate Realities AU series should be. Your help would really be most appreciated right now, and I'm thankful for all you guys for getting me in such a high subscriber count. I never thought I'd actually get that high at all, but ever since I started doing my own SML series, I thought that was kind of cool. And speaking of SML, this t-shirt I'm actually wearing is the official SML Jeffy shirt, if y'all weren't able to tell, like right here. It actually has like the name and everything. And y'all probably were noticing I was wearing this red bow too. Apparently, you know, when looking for my Garbage Pail Kids, I happened to have remembered that I had this back when I got some of the Hive Swap apparel. So that's where that's from. And Potion here, this cat here, or rather he was here to also make, you know, just make this video kind of lighthearted, because Potion here, think of Potion as a therapy pet. Because, you know, sometimes, you know, pets can really help you in hard times too. So for all you pet owners out there, you know, it's perfectly fine if you have to, like, turn to your pets for moral support in times where you're not able to rely on others. That doesn't make you bad, and that's not making you say that the people around you can't be turned to, but sometimes people get busy, so your pets are your best backup plan. And trust me, being around pets can really help with your mental health as well. So, yeah, this video was an unscripted mess, I guess. It's all over the place. But as long as y'all take the main point of this video to heart and know that y'all don't need to be forced into some odd, obscure situations that are selfish, then that's all that matters to me. And I hope y'all all have a blessed and fun Thanksgiving with your friends and families out there. So, you know, have extra fun for me, and, you know, have a great time. And whatever video I upload next, hopefully it's good. And I'm sorry that, you know, I'm taking so long with this. Like I said, our house is all kind of crazy right now, and half the time I don't even know what to upload. Like, I'll have ideas, but then I don't know how to present it, because, like I said, my videos aren't scripted, like, at all. So I'm surprised you guys even like half my videos, because a lot of you guys keep saying they're good, and half the time I don't even see why. But thank you for being able to stick around for as long as you have, and have the most blessed Thanksgiving day ever. And, you know, just know that Potion, the cat, and I, we love all of y'all, and y'all all are valid, and y'all all matter. So, see you next time.